Hi, Shannon.
Hello, Mr.
Glad that
Cheif.
you chose to work with Walk to Success Marketing for your new website. We've built a couple of pages for you, and I want to show you how to market that, how to manage those pages and how to edit them. There's great ways to edit them on both the front end and the back end. And I've got your website. I've logged in already. The bar up here at the top shows me that I'm logged in. And here under Mind Body Fitness, you have your dashboard, your themes, your widgets, your menus, theme customizer, and theme or module customizer. We're just going to open up the dashboard real quick, and I'll go through what it is. This dashboard looks like any other WordPress dashboard. Your control panel is down the left-hand side. Your posts, you can add posts anytime. You can edit your categories here. Media are all your PDF documents, your pictures, your videos, your recorded audios for podcasts and that type of thing. Our platform has built-in gravity forms. And gravity forms are where you can have surveys, polls, your even just contact us can be a form, and any other form on your website. And it's a really dynamic, it's an upgraded paid plugin that's included in all the Walk to Success sites. Pages is really your static pages. Those are the ones that are on your menu. Your posts are more your updates, your articles, your blogs, your videos, all those things that you're going to be adding on a regular basis. Google wants to see more content added to a website on a continual basis. But a page would be something that is cornerstone content that you always want to be there. Posts are something that you're updating regularly. Comments, anytime you have posts, you're going to get hopefully lots of people that comment on your on your blog posts, and that's where you would interact with them. Unfortunately, even though we have a lot of spam blockers already built in, sometimes spam comments come through. We just have to manage them here. And then projects are another type of post that a lot of people use for specific types of blog posts. Like I would have a project be a case study on building your website. That would be a project more than it would be a post. And then I can manage those projects in different ways, like I can manage posts in different ways, and I can manage pages in different ways. Really, it's just another navigation tool. Appearances are your theme, which is the Divi theme. And then we can add other child themes to that for direct decorating it. But the Divi theme is really powerful, and that's what we choose to use. We can also access your menus and your settings from here. Plugins are the little apps or widgets that we add to all websites. Your website has about 20 plugins already built into it, and there's about 50 other ones available. We only turn them on when we need them because more plugins means slower loading website.
Yeah.
Users, you're a user. I'd like you, if the first time you log in, to go into your user profile and go in here and edit it. This is really good for search engine optimization. You really want to have a full profile filled out. Your name, I put in already. You're an administrator. Your login credentials are here. The email to reach you is here. But the website would be this website, but you can also fill in your Google Plus profile, your Twitter profile, your Facebook profile. This avatar comes in by joining, I forget what it's called, but it's another place you have to log in and load your picture.
Right.
At the bottom here, we have an extra tool, Yoast SEO settings. All of our websites come with Yoast SEO, which is a really strong tool. And here you can fill out your author page, and then literally when somebody searches you as an author, it shows up within your website. And there's some good Google juice involved in this.
Oh, yeah.
Tools, you're probably not going to use very often. I use those. Your settings, you're probably not going to use it very often. One of the things I always like to do is change the permalinks and remove the date and time, and just have it be your post name. I forgot to do that here, so I'm just going to do that real quick. And then always look at the bottom of the page to save the settings. The other things we have on here, we have Google Analytics built in. Anti-spam B is to keep those comment spam at bay. And you're probably not going to use much more of that. The Yoast SEO we'll cover in a second when we look at adding pages and editing pages. The events are how we've added the MBSR event.
Okay, yes.
We're going to go back in here if we have time afterwards and show you how to add events, add pricing for your events. We'll probably throw in a coupon code or two to show you how to do that. And then where you manage accepting payments. Right now we have you set up on PayPal, but they also have Stripe available and several other payment portals. Bloom is pop-ups. So if you've ever been on a website and seen a screen pop up in front of you that says, join our newsletter, you know, get a free white paper download, any of that, that's Bloom, and that's a tool that we use on a lot of websites. You have to be careful that you don't have a pop-up on mobile, because Google will ding you and ding your site if your pop-up covers more than 30% of any mobile screen.
Can I ask a question on that, or you want me to save questions till
ask
the end?
away.
With the new compliance rules, how does Bloom interact with the new compliance rules, the European compliance?
You have to add that to it. GDPR is Bloom is going to collect the emails. It's up to you to have your own privacy policy, your own terms and conditions, and ways for people to opt out. Bloom now, I think in the next update, will have a little screen at the bottom where you can add some of that GDPR compliance.
Okay.
But a lot of my sites are actually choosing to add another plugin that makes GDPR compliance a lot easier. Right now, you do not have an email collection mechanism on your website, so you're fine. But as soon as we start collecting emails on your website, we need to make sure that we're just being user-friendly and giving them options to opt out, but also being GDPR compliant. It's not just for Europe. If somebody from Europe were to go to your website and fill in the email capture form, you would literally be liable for tracking and saving their information.
Okay, and we do need a plan for that now, sooner, because I would expect to have that as part of the everything that is to get the email address. So yes, we'll review what's the next steps on taking care of that then.
Okay. Divi Cloud is an awesome tool that we've added to all of our websites also. It gives hundreds of layouts to start building your site with. So you don't have to start from scratch and build from scratch. You can literally pick a layout that you like the look of and just load that and start building from someone else's design. Divi is the actual theme itself, and there's customizers as part of that. But the most beautiful thing is the Divi library. Once you build a piece on your website that you like, you can save that piece into the library and redeploy it on any page, any post, or any project at any time. And then Divi Booster, again, is more of the developer side. I go in there and I set stuff up. It's just an added tool. Again, this is not a standard WordPress website. This is an optimized WordPress tool that you get to work with because we've built all these things in.
Yes.
All right, so that's your left-hand column. We're going to jump in and look at pages. We've built you 3 pages so far. The front page is what shows up when people go to mindbodyfitness.fit. So that's the first page that opens up. We've got an option here to edit, quick edit, trash, or view. And then quick edit is stuff like this little thing here. I've built this as the author, but you don't want me as the author. You want to be the author because it's your website and you want to be the author of all the pages. So that's just, this is like a quick little place where you'd add information, you'd update information, change information when you don't need to see the site. And then again, you want to make sure that you hit the update button, which saves those changes. I'm going to jump in. I'm going to edit this page. And again, this is more familiar to the back end of a WordPress website that you're used to. But we have Yoast at the very top. Notice that the readability is orange and your keyword is orange. We always want those to be green.
Dude, sorry for interrupting, but that's such a neat preview tool. That is definitely an improvement.
Yeah. So in the Yoast SEO, because it's the first window that opens in front of us, this shows you what it looks like in Google when someone searches. Mind Body Fitness, Mind Body Fitness. The name of the page is Mind Body Fitness, and the name of the website is Mind Body Fitness, and that's why it's duplicated there. We could fix that, but I'm not against it because it's a little bit of extra SEO juice and it doesn't look ugly.
Sure.
If we wanted to fix that, we could.
Sure.
The focus keyword is Mind Body Fitness. We always want to use a keyword that's at least 2 words and no more than 4 words.
No more than 4. Okay.
If we were to put a single word in there like fitness, you'd be competing with Gold's Gym and Nike and everybody else in the world. So 2 to 3 words really zooms that into more of what you do. Yep. And then it's going to, all Yoast is going to do is say, hey, did you really talk about this on your page? And if you did really talk about it on your page, Google will respect it more.
Teacher, question.
I'm going to click this little edit snippet button. And the stuff that's underneath your search right here where it says Mind Body Fitness teaches slow movement therapy, that is actually called the meta description. And we can manually put it in here. If we don't manually put it in, then it's going to pull the first words it finds on your page.
Sure. Sure, but I like that's where I can put in my manual entries for the meta.
Right.
Okay,
and here it says, here it's got green, which means the length is good. If it was it would be too short, too long. And your goal is to keep it about 180 characters, 100 to 200 characters. I clicked this little box that this is Cornerstone content, which adds a couple more requirements for Yoast SEO because this is your main page and everything that's on that page is important content. As we go down, it tells us what we've got to do to make this green. The keyword density is only 3.4%, which we actually are over the maximum keyword density. So on your page, I need to go in and take out Mind Body Fitness a couple of places and put in a couple of other things that are contextual like Mind Body Fitness, but don't actually say Mind Body Fitness. Google thinks that I'm spamming your page with a keyword.
Well, but oh my God, yeah. All right, sorry, I won't go off on all of that, but
I know, but these are just guidelines. These are just suggestions and hints. They're not written in stone. And
no, because it's a constantly adapting environment.
It is.
Actually, I guess, and I apologize for derailing you, but just so I can get it off my brain real quick. When we come to the meta description and word density, one of the interesting questions is hyphenating words.
Yes.
And mind body is literally one of those between mind, body, and juxtaposition, and mind hyphenated body. Right, when I do a survey of the literature, when I go to Mayo Clinic site, when I go to the other, the 2 big main ones for MBSR, both of them are using mind-body. What's your immediate thought of how this is going to read mind space body and then also have mind-body in that, profiling and the meta tagging?
those are two separate words to optimize. Those
Okay.
are two different keywords. So if I type into my search engine mind hyphen body or mind space body, I'm doing two totally different searches. So
Okay.
Google will see it that way. And probably the best way to fix this keyword density is throughout your page, we integrate both. We say
Yeah, and that's
hyphen body.
exactly where I'm thinking some Venn diagram ideas already between the tagging between the pages. But at least when the cornerstone, I'm pretty sure of what I'll need to do to throw in the mindfulness in there with it. So if we got a 4-word limit, probably having mind, body, and then mindful. Again, these are all just
Right.
the words, right?
Those are words, but those are important words, and
They are.
you want to pick, at least 3 and up to 10 key words for your website that are your focus all the time. And then on your blog posts or your projects is where you can bring in outside information and start growing that. But on those pages, you want 3 to 10 keywords you're always focusing on. And you already have at least 3 that I know of, 4 that I know of.
Yep.
One is mind-body fitness. The other is mind space body fitness. Then you have NBSR, which is mindfulness basics based stress relief, stress reduction, excuse me.
Yeah.
And then you also have movement flow, or your other class.
The mindful movement, although the mindfulness as itself is a tag, that's going to be a good one to tap into.
Right, and it'll be up to you to find what goes in front of or behind mindfulness to make it a more long tail keyword.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
All right, so this is where the beautiful stuff starts. The Divi Builder literally lays everything out in sections, rows, and modules. Okay? So when we look at this on the front end, there's blue for section, green for rows, and black for modules. And there's the modules. If I were to insert a new module here, I have all of these ways of building a website. I can put in an accordion, an auto, a bar counter, a button. I can put in straight HTML code, countdowns, contact forms, comments, testimonials, email opt-ins. The most popular one we'll probably use is text and images. But if I wanted to put in a bio of you, I could do it as a person. And it automatically lays out and asks me all those questions right there.
Nice.
The filterable portfolio pulls from your projects. Your blog pulls from your posts. So if I'm loading in a blog, literally it's going to feed in all my articles, all my blog articles. If I'm using a filterable portfolio, it's going to feed in all my projects. Okay. So, and then you automatically have the ability to have membership on your site, and that's this login portfolio, navigation, post slider, literally slide your posts in a nice format so people can see what you've written. The search module, there are some good custom searches that I'd rather use than Divi or WordPress search. Pricing tables, so if you want to set up a good, better, best, a monthly or an annual pricing, all of those things are pre-done here. If you had WooCommerce or a way of shopping, you can put that in right here. Social media follow is probably something we will add to your site pretty quickly. Tabs is a great way to have a lot of information in a small area. Same thing with toggles and with accordions. So instead of having an overwhelming 300 feet of text, you can literally break it up into tabs or break it up into toggles, which you'll see here we did on your NBSR page. We put the frequently asked questions into toggles.
Yes, I saw that.
Here I can just put in a video.
Toggle. Okay, yeah, there's a toggle because it says the word toggle. My own finger got in the way when I said, I just see tabs.
We can put videos right onto your page, and the video module allows us to put it anywhere, any size, any place. All of these can be done in a tiny little corner or the whole page. So right now we're not going to add any modules um, to that part of the page. But on this page, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5th section and the 6th section are disabled. So those came in the layout that I downloaded for this page, but right now we're not using them.
Sure.
So on the dashboard side, and again, you're not going to use the dashboard as much as you're
Not
going
gonna
to use
make
the
me
front end
cry.
builder. The front end
I'm
builder
not gonna dashboard, man.
point and click. But I'm just going to show you how you would do this. When you click on this little 3 bars here, it opens it up, and that's where I would manage it. I have a content, I have design, and I have advanced. On every one, the content is literally my background, where I can put in colors, a gradient, an image, or video.
Yeah.
In design, I can make that look exactly the way I want, adding spacing, shadows, animations, all of that comes in the design. And advanced is hardly ever used by you, but if you
Sure.
wanted to write CSS coding and make it do special things, you can do that here.
Hmm.
Go ahead. What's your question?
No, I was just no, I was just humming to myself that it was still used because I
Okay.
assume that's with cascading style sheets.
Yep, that's what CSS is.
Uh, I guess I'm
Cascading
humming
style
because I'm
sheet.
surprised it's still around. But well,
If I right-click on those 3, I get shortcuts. So I can rename this section. I can set up split testing, which is A/B testing. So automatically it builds 2 sections that are the same, and then I can have one
yes.
blue and one red and see who clicks on the one red one more or the blue one more.
Or different text, or different entries, or different pop-up interfaces. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Wow. No,
All of
that's
that,
great.
all of that is available directly from this theme. The save to library is how I would save that to use later, and I would save it, I would make sure I name it correctly. Disable is how I turned off those sections below, and when you disable something, you can disable it on mobile, tablet, or desktop. So
Ah. Oh, nice.
an
Okay.
example
Yeah.
would be I have this beautiful, huge graphic that's gorgeous. It's a picture of a mountain scene. That's this beautiful big image. But a big image loads really, really slow on mobile. So I would disable that on mobile and just put a blue background in on mobile. So I would
Mm,
build 2 sections. One
mm.
section I build for desktop, and I would disable it on tablet and mobile. The other section I would build for mobile or build for desktop, and I would disable it on the other 2 that I'm not using. So
That's
literally, I can build a website purely for desktop, a website purely for tablet, and a website purely for mobile. And mobile is the most important. If it doesn't look good on mobile, 60 to 70% of people are going to see that first.
sure. Yes. Increased
I could
number of.
lock it. If I lock this, it means that it can't be edited without unlocking it. So as a developer, sometimes I build stuff and I lock it so that the end user doesn't mess up the design, doesn't edit stuff that they shouldn't be editing.
What?
Collapsing it just makes it look nice and neat. I don't have to look at all the open stuff. I can copy this and use it on another page. Maybe I don't want to put it in the library. I just want to copy this section and use it on another page. And here's the most used part of it that I can preview. And here it's just going to open up what it looks like on the front end. So I can preview it in desktop, tablet, and mobile.
Nice.
See what I clicked on here?
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
This is impressive, man. I see why you like it.
So so this is the sections that you're going to see. I wanted to show you the back end first so that you understand the sections, but we're going to go to the where you're going to use it the most, and that's right up here in this Use Visual Builder. The Use Visual Builder will literally open up your website as everyone sees it.
The
But you'll
WYSIWYG.
notice if I hover over things, now I've got a section, a row, and a module. Okay?
Yep.
If I want to edit it, I hit on the gearbox. If I want to copy it, I hit on the two screens, duplicate section. If I want to add it to my library, it's that circle with an arrow through it. And if I want to delete it, it's the trash can. If I want to move it, I can just literally drag and drop it anywhere on the page. Okay? Same thing with the section. Same thing with the module. I have settings in every one of them. The section has content design and advanced settings. The row has content design and advanced settings. I can set the background different in the row than I have on the section.
Sure.
I can make the, I can change the spacing. I can do all of that just by literally clicking in here. And let's say I just wanted to add a nice gradient to behind the logo section that's there. I would click here. Notice it already put it in for me.
Yep.
I click here. I change the color range I want. And maybe make that a little more transparent. Now that section, that row has a background. Okay? If I want to undo what I just did, I can do it a couple of ways. I can click here and look at this timer, and that's my editing history. If I make 5 changes in a row and I want to change the last 3, I can go back 4 steps and change my editing history.
Oh, wow.
Here's where I loaded it. Here's where I first edited it. Here's where I edited the row.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, good visual layout.
While this is open, I want to show you these. Here is a page wide. I can add a whole new page from the library. I can save the whole page to the library. I can trash the whole page. Here's settings for the whole page, my layout. And then if I want to import or export a layout from somebody else, let's say a friend has a great layout on their website, they were willing to share it with you, I can literally, they can export it and we can import it. That's this portability. And here's save. Everything you do has to be saved. If the website's live and you hit save, it's immediately live with those changes. Okay? If the page hasn't been saved, this would say save draft or publish.
Okay, yeah, okay. Go ahead.
Okay? Now, this is technically a live website, but it's on the internet in my sandbox. So you can look at it, you can work on it. It's not going to be live under mindbodyfitness.fit until we point it there. Okay? So it's live on the internet, but it's not live where anybody can find it.
Along those lines, how do you usually set up the, so to say, the test site before it then goes to the live publish?
So right now it's in my sandbox where you can work on it, edit it, share it. It looks like a live website. It is a live website. But once it goes live, then it gets mapped to your domain. So literally it's always going to be living here on my servers, but it's going to map to your domain. So everyone, when people click on it or search for it, they see mindbodyfitness.fit, not mindbody.steveattarian.rocks.
In the scenario where we have the website published and I want to save a draft to a production site, will this where it's pointing at currently, will that be kept for as long as I've got the monthly, ongoing agreement with you? Is that where I could have a production site where I could keep a draft?
Nope, you just keep drafts on your live site. You just don't publish them.
Okay. So there's a way to save it as a draft, and it auto puts it in a production site subcategory.
Right. It'll say draft on it until it goes live, and then you can also make it private or public. So I can show you those things on the back end also.
Okay.
So over here in this little toolbox, there's things you can set up for the builder itself. And one thing I like to do is I like to turn on these other choices for managing the modules and the sections. There's a whole lot of settings in here that I'm not going to bother you with. The defaults are awesome. If you want to change the default, you can, and that's the box you would do it. But when I click on this grid pattern, then all of these sections and modules are always there. I don't have to hover over to get them to show up. So I just save a step, and I can see where all my modules are and all my rows and sections are. So I'm going to click on this row real quick. I'm going to go to background, and I'm going to trash this background and remove it because it looks good white. Okay?
Yeah.
And I click the checkbox, which means I saved my work in that section, but unless I click save here, it doesn't really save once I leave.
Okay.
Okay? So I'm going to scroll down here. Here's your text module, and there's two modules here, maybe three. One is your headline where it says Mind Body Fitness, and then the text below. Okay, this is very similar to what you're used to. This used to be the whole WordPress editor here.
Sure.
This text box.
Yep.
I have all the tools here. I can center it. I can change it. I can highlight it. I can change the color of it. And it's live right in front of me. Okay? If I want to write code or work in the code, I can hit the text, and there I can play with code. I prefer the visual builder because what you see is what you get.
Yep, yep.
Okay? If I go into the design settings, here in the design settings, I can change everything about the text, including its font weight, font style, font color, font size, spacing, line height. I can add a shadow to the font. See what I just did?
Sure.
Isn't that cool?
It's what I call the rabbit hole.
So the text I can make dark or light. That's the fastest setting. White text on a dark background or dark text on a white background. Your heading text is different because you have a H1, H2, H3, and H4. And literally I can change the font for every heading. So if I want the font to be on the heading 1, I want that to be the font I've been using on your website, this Gentium Book Basic. It's the closest to the font that's in your logo. That's a standard Google font. Then I would just change that on H1 or change it on H3. So, and then I can make everything caps. I can italicize, underline, or strike through any text on my website. I can align that text left, right, center, or justify, change the color, size, shape, spacing, add shadows. And then here's sizing. Here's the sizing is literally 100% width. I can have it be different sizes. And then I can also set those different sizes for desktop, tablet, or smartphone. Okay? Again, if it doesn't look good on a smartphone, it doesn't look good to 7 out of 10 people that see it. When I style and design a page, I style it and design it for work mobile first, then the rest of the world.
Sure. Absolutely.
Spacing is your padding or and your margins. Your margins are outside of the module we're working in, and padding is inside. So if I were to change the padding that I'm literally adding padding to the bottom of the text. See how the button's moving down? The button's moving up. So if I can do that manually here, or I can click in here and it's going to show me padding. Well, there's no padding yet. So literally I'd have to add padding.
Yeah.
And then I can slide up and down and change the padding.
Yeah.
So like here, if I wanted to add more padding, see how I'm just able to drag and drop and add it?
Yeah.
Okay. So all of that stuff is available right on the front end. This is your button module. Notice I clicked over it. I can change the heading of that button. I can change where the button goes, which is the link. And this particular one goes, it was going to Facebook. Because when I first built the website, we didn't have a mindfulness stress relief reduction class. Now we do, so I'm going to change that link. So what I'm doing here is I just went up to the menu where I know that page is, and I right-clicked and I said copy link address. I come over here, and instead of sending them to Facebook, I'm going to send them to that page on your website. I'm going to do one extra step, Shannon. I'm going to ask you to do it also. Because this is built in a sandbox, there are some problems when it goes live. And one of those problems is the root domain is going to change from Steve Attarian Rocks to...
Yeah, that was my other question about the production site stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm just going to take that first part out.
Okay.
Okay. So whatever is .com, .rocks, .fit, .net, .org, .anything, you just take it out to the end of that. Now, no matter where that link is on any server, on any site, the link will work. It's called making the link dynamic.
Yeah.
And I just did that here. The next question is, do I want to open it in the same site or do I, same window, or do I want to open it in a new window or a new tab? If it's your website, you want it to open in the same window. If you're sending them to Mayo Clinic, or you're sending them to research, or you're sending them to Facebook, you always want it to open in a new tab.
Yeah.
Don't take them out of your real estate and let them go to someone else's.
Sure.
The admin of this, now let's say I really like this button and I'm going to put this button on a bunch of pages. I would say this is the join.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Whatever I just did.
Where we could rename the button itself, right?
Right. This is just so when I see it on the back end, I know what it is. And I think probably because I'm live video, something's not working on that. So as I slide down, this little effect where the picture stays in the background and the website slides over it is called parallax effect. And you can set that on any image. If I wanted to change the words here, so here my built-in spell check called Grammarly tells me that that's supposed to be hyphenated. Mindfulness-based, it got underlined like a spell check, so it's supposed to be hyphenated. I could choose to hyphenate it or not choose to hyphenate it. Which would you prefer?
Oh, yes, and absolutely. We're going to go with the hyphenated.
Hyphenated. It's hyphenated, sir.
Dun, dun, dun.
I saw this button here, and this is called a full width section. Notice this is purple and not blue. This is just a different building tool, and a full width section has some stuff built into it. Notice when I hover over these buttons, no module opens up for me to change those buttons.
Yes.
So I need to go in here, and I don't love how that Learn More is gray and the book now is white. I think Learn More would look better white. So I'm going to click on the settings. I'm going to go to design, and I'm going to scroll down till I see button number 1. And under button number 1, I'm going to change the text to white. See what I did?
Absolutely.
Okay, so now I'm just going to check mark that. I also noticed that because I used my spell check to fix this, it didn't fix it permanently. It took the hyphen out next time I moved. So I'm just going to manually go in and add that hyphen using my spell check. So this little icon can be changed. The color of the icon can be changed. The image in the background can be changed. Here's the section I added for you as an instructor.
Yeah.
This section right now is 1/3 left, 2/3 right. In the 1/3 left, I added a picture, and the 2/3 right, I added text. So this is an image module. I can do a lot of things in here. I can link the image. I can add a background to the image. Again, if I just wanted to put a color behind it. It looks like caca. But let's say I like that background, but the image is not centered. The image is left justified. So I could come here in the alignment, and I could center that, and now the background looks a little bit better.
Sure.
Okay? I like the centering better than the left justify. I'm going to leave that, but I am going to remove the background real quick. No code necessary.
Yeah. Yeah, the WYSIWYG tools have come a long way, my man.
So let's say I just wanted to change this word determined. I can highlight that, start typing, and it just goes right live right now.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
I can also use some keyboard shortcuts. You can use Control Copy, Control Paste, and Control Z for undone. And
Okay.
I'm just going to undo with Control Z.
Okay, great.
Here again, mind body is not hyphenated. They think it should be. Mind body is not hyphenated. They think it should be. And they think Kijong is misspelled.
Yeah, and that'll come.
See, they show it's one word,
Ah,
not two. And the best way to do that, because, you know, people are going to be people. So
yeah.
you have it some places spelled with one word and some places spelled with two words. Google's going to see it as two separate words. So you can integrate it any way you want. If you have a preference, you can use that preference. If you have my SEO suggestion would be use both.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what in fact, I'm thinking about how, one of the fellows I mentioned there, Anthony, I'm pretty sure his website's got a degree of both, because one of his blogs is a discussion of what is Qigong versus Tai Chi, and then gets into everything that's been the differences of spelling and English translations over the years, which was also a brilliant way for him to really nail home both the Qigong and the Tai Chi variations and connect it to his website, Flowing Zen.
Absolutely. So these little sections down here are called blurbs. And a blurb automatically lets me put a picture above, a headline, and a text. It's just a cool, fast way to build little sections like this. Here, there's two blurbs, and this row is right now two sections. If I wanted to add a third blurb, I could just choose 3 columns. These are all your column layouts that are standard.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
If I wanted to add a background to the whole section, This is actually all one big section. All that blue, you can't really see it, but this is all one big section.
Okay, that's what I was looking for as well.
And then I added a button below, even though I can click on the picture and I can click on the title, I also added a button below that takes us to the mindfulness-based stress reduction training page. Mindful movement, the link that I have didn't work to take them to your actual class. So this link takes them to your profile on mindful movement, the other website.
Sure.
Okay. But and this picture, you notice it's not changing into a finger. There's no special place to send this.
Sure.
So I added a button down here as a navigation tool. This shows up on the front end, but when I hover over it, you can see it's grayed out. Okay. This is the first section in the back that's disabled, and it's disabled on desktop, mobile, and tablet, and that's why it's grayed out. We may wind up deleting this section. We may wind up changing this section. I like it because it's got really big social media follows. We can change the background color and the words, and it's a nice little section.
Yes.
The next piece down is the next section. See here? And then that's got a menu, and it's also got, so this is a footer section. It's a built, styled footer instead of WordPress's manual footer, which is this last bottom black bar.
Yeah.
Okay? So I have another menu at the bottom, and then I have the footer that WordPress uses, and I do have your Facebook page connected here. This is not editable from the front end. As a matter of fact, you have to go into your theme settings, your customizer, to change what it says here.
Okay, sure.
Okay? So the front end builder, does that make some sense?
Yep, absolutely.
If I wanted to add a video right here, I literally would just add a new module. I would say search for video. There's my video slider. I'd say video. I'd go here to the little gearbox. I click on that, and here's where it asks me if I want to upload my own video, which you don't want to do because it's too huge. Okay, you never want to have a whole video sitting on your own server. It loads too slow.
Okay.
But let's say I wanted to go to YouTube and mindfulness. There's mindful meditation, 10-day calm. You know, I'm just going to pick one because I can. So when you grab a YouTube video, you click this share button, and you just grab the link. Okay.
Sure.
The other option I like to do is actually take it from the URL.
Allow yourself to get comfortable.
Are you comfortable? I prefer to take the link right from the URL. It just has more Google juice. And then I come back over here. I say insert from URL.
There we go.
Paste it. And now that video is literally on your website.
Nice. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
Yes.
So
yeah, that streamlines a whole lot of stuff in the widget category.
So I can also come down here, and let's say I don't love the picture that they choose as a front picture. Let's say I want to have my own picture in the front of it. So I can literally overlay a picture instead of having the video, but there's still a little play button so we know it's a video. Let's say I want to generate the picture from the video. I can do that. And then all of that is possible. Okay?
Yes, that does make sense.
And then I just deleted that module and we went back to where we started. I don't know that we made any changes, but in case, oh, we did. We made some hyphen changes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just saved those changes. Let's jump over here to your, now it's warning me, did I leave the site without saving? But I know I just clicked the save button. So I'm going to leave the site. This is your mindfulness-based stress reduction page. We added some description here last night.
Yes.
You sent me in text. This section here is a section that I built that came from a template. So that's an icon on the left. Now, right now we're not in the visual builder. We're literally looking at the page live. Okay? I want to enable the visual builder. And now I'm able to edit the page directly. And one thing that bugs me on this little text module here is that everything else is red, but your link is blue. So I'm going to change that link color to red. And it's not going to let me because it's somewhere else. It's probably in the theme settings.
Yeah, I was going to say it's probably an over.
It could be in custom CSS. So for some reason, my manual changes are being overridden, and that's part of dealing with themes.
Yes, it is.
Deal with themes, we may have to deal with fun stuff. I can change the text color.
Yes. Yeah, it's something in the thing that's treating the link text differently.
Yep. But I like the red. I like the red text color. Okay, so that styles it enough, and this blue is the same blue as in the icon.
Yeah.
So if I wanted to edit something here, I could just literally start editing. Okay?
Okay.
Questions?
No, actually, that's enough to get in and make all the corrections and changes that I see already. Because this provides, quite frankly, I love what you've done here and what this has set up. Because I mean, the worst part is I could overthink so much on just how to lay out some modules that work. Being able to go in now and clean up my language, that's my job. But I totally see how this makes it so much easier, especially on a WYSIWYG level. And anything that I begin to find okay, here's a good way to repeat this fact or this little module, that's the easy stuff I can reduplicate. Everything that's behind the scenes, I'm so glad that you know how to do, and I don't have to spin my wheels learning all of that stuff when that's not what I want to do. So everything that you've set up here especially fits and flows so well. Editing to text, I'm ready to do it.
So this section I added yesterday.
Yes.
And it's the frequently asked questions to the MBSR page. And these are your toggles. Each toggle is its own. I worked on this, centering this text about 25 minutes, and I couldn't get it centered. What I probably need to do, I'm just going to do it here real quick just to see if it helps. I'm going to copy, oops, I didn't get it all.
Yeah.
I'm going to copy this text. I'm going to delete this text module. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to add a new text module.
Uh-huh.
No, I'm not. So I'm going to go into this text module and actually so here's some funkiness that's happening because of hovering over the other sections.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go back to that grid mode. And now when I go to the grid mode, I can add that text module. The grid mode is really, when they added that to the front end builder, it changed the game.
Yes.
So I'm going to paste what I had taken out of there. I know I want this to be headline 3 for size, and I know I want to center it. And then I want to go to the design, tell the text to be the text the font we're using, and I want to make the text light. But because I made that a headline, I need to come down here and change the headline, and I made it an H3. Okay, so I just fixed that text not being centered, and I literally had to delete the text box that was in there and add a new text box because somehow the formatting on that text box was off.
Sure.
Doesn't that look pretty?
The fact that you can delete and re-add stuff on the fly like that is also testimony to how far this has come along.
Yeah, and I don't have to go and look at it on the front end to see what it looks like and then go back into the dashboard, then go back into the front end. I could do it all here. So the toggle settings, just so you know, the title is what you see in the open rectangle, and the text is what you see when the toggle's open.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm going to save those changes, and we're probably coming up pretty close to the 1 hour that Zoom's going to kick us off.
No, this is more than enough. Teacher, my brain is full. This is neat stuff, Steve. Man, I got to really thank you for the good work and hard work you've done.
Well, you're welcome. That's what I'm paid to do, sir.
Wow.
Your business.
You're the one who took the life choice to learn all of this, though. I especially thank you for taking that on.
You're very welcome, sir. I'm going to stop the recording now and end our meeting.
Okay.
Have a blessed day.
Thank you, Steve. I'll talk to you later.